Hey out there, this is Saturday, June 14th, 2014. I'm in beautiful Northern California. This is the first day in weeks I've seen the chemtrails back, but you can see this entire hazy sky. This is all artificial. All artificial. They're poisoning us. Oh, they make me sick. It's really hard for me to keep my cool when I see this sort of stuff going on, unabated. No discussion in the mainstream media. Hey, this morning I wanted to talk about what I heard on the Alex Jones show I was watching on YouTube this morning. And I've been typically trying to make a video blog every Saturday morning as time allows. And I was trying to think of a title. And Alex had a guest on that was talking about the scam in the mortgage industry and how these the money printers essentially have stolen the wealth of our nation through fraudulent mortgages. He mentioned cloudy titles, and being that I had a 4-year California real estate license until recently, I learned quite a bit about this sort of thing in the real estate schooling I took. And one of the things about a cloudy title that becomes clear, anybody with a 6th grade education could figure out that cloudy in this regard means nebulous, ambiguous, ambivalent. It's like muddy waters. It's unclear, it's confusing, it's contrived, it's convoluted. It's difficult to understand, and they do that on purpose. It's fundamental that people understand these things. That the fine print is like a metaphor for a scam. That if you have to read the fine print, which everybody knows nobody does, then you've been scammed. They ought to make the fine print a thing of the past and put it all in bold writing so you see right there, and put it in clear words where they tell you, well, we can, if we successfully scam you out of your house through whatever means we choose, and we decide the laws, we decide what's moral, what's amoral, and what's ethical and what's not, it's ours. And the way it works is this, and this is one of the first things, if you take real estate school here in California, one of the first things you learn in the class is that real estate is a policeable entity. In other words, what they're saying is that they can call on the police to enforce the rules of real estate. So you understand it's serious business. And I was thinking that, I could be a cop. For all intents and purposes, my record is clear. Of course, you've got to go through rigorous screening just to get a California real estate license. It precludes any felons, and you've got to go get electronically fingerprinted at the local police department. So I've been through all that. And likely, I could be a cop myself. And I think, you know what? There's things I would put my foot down right away. I'd get it in writing that I object to doing this, that, and the next thing. And that's it. I'm going to stand by my principles. I'm not going to stand by a set of double standard rules that the top policymakers, who are not the politicians, not the president, the Congress, the Senate, it looks like that. It looks like, that these are the people making the rules for we the people, but it isn't. It's the top policymakers are the money printers. And the politicians just follow in step with whatever these people say, because, of course, they are the source of their money, their security, their God. the god of this world, of course, being money. So they're servants first and foremost of their god, these people that have control over the money printing rights. So you've got to really understand this scam in order to not get snared by it. And that's why I never could get into selling real estate, is because it's a scam from the get-go. And the only way that I could see myself being a real estate broker, because at this point, having had a 4-year license, I could pretty easily get a class and get my broker's license and be out there and making some real money. But I really object to the system. It's a scam. It's a scam. The politicians are in on this scam. Understand this, okay? This whole thing with the real estate is like a snake eating its tail. And let me explain that. You've got the government agencies, that's politicians, quasi-politicians, anybody employed in a city, county, state, or federal capacity is, in essence, a politician. And politics really has nothing more to do with anything than money. Sure, we're talking about laws and rules, but those are dictated by, again, the money masters, the top policymakers, the money printers. And the politicians just rubber stamp whatever they do. They're whores, and they just do what they're told. So you understand how this works. And, so the idea that these are the people making the rules for you and I is absurdist. And we have to object en masse. And, California is like a guinea pig state. And what I mean by that is that they're testing the waters here to see how far they can get with their oppression of the people. And they can get very far. And if you across the nation want to know what you have to look forward to, what the trend is, look at San Francisco. 15% home ownership rate. In other words, some 85+% of California residents are renters. Now, let me tell you again how these politicians play a role in these exorbitant rents and this disparity, this wealth disparity, because the greatest measure of prosperity is home ownership. It's traditionally been that for a long time, and it makes a lot of sense. That, what you want, your needs met. You want a sense of security, and home ownership is a part of that. Now, the median price for a house in San Francisco is about $1 million. Now, can you imagine the property tax on that? Just the property tax, and that's in perpetuity. That's forever. Do you understand? The government agencies have been working in concert with the real estate companies, with the bankers, to escalate the cost of housing. Why? Because their tax base grows. Whenever the price, it's just like a real estate agent getting a commission on the sale of a house or the purchase of a house. It's based on the dollar figure for that house. So, and the same with lending money. The more money you lend, the higher your commission. So all these people are incentivized. The politicians, the real estate companies, the bankers, all of these people are incentivized to pull this scam. It's nothing more than market manipulation. And back to the snake eating its tail. Then you've got the government agencies forced by virtue of the fact that the people are outraged that, when handicapped people are left out in the cold to die, and they demand that the government step in with social welfare programs. And here's where the Cloward and Piven strategy plays. So they know that what they're doing, they know that the monetary policies will create poverty. This is what they want. They know it will create wealth disparity. This is what they want. They want the people utterly miserable. They don't want people to breed. And it's a matter of fact that people stop having children. They know this is what happens. If you go back to the Great Depression, you study what happened during that period, that births went way down. Because any fella out there that doesn't have a job, that can't take care of his own health because of oppressive, pernicious cost of living, just to pay his basic needs, just to pay the roof over his head, just to pay for the water he's drinking, just to pay for the energy he's using, just to pay for the food he's eating. Okay, if he can barely take care of himself, and in many cases he can't, and he needs the social welfare system to step in, so he wills himself disabled. I mean, how many guys out there go out and, subconsciously or unconsciously hurt themselves just so they could go on disability? Or maybe they make themselves crazy. They just say, I'm so miserable. This system makes me so miserable that I don't feel appreciated at work. I like to work, but if they don't want me there, if this guy needs my job more than me, I mean, hell, I'm a nice guy. I'll just drop out, man. I'll just take so many damn drugs that I act crazy, and I can go get on crazy money. You know, become disabled, get Social Security disability through just being crazy. I've seen this happen over and over again. You understand? And then the nicest people out there, the ones that get picked on the most, they get called bums, hobos, you know, the homeless people. These are the upright people. These people aren't criminals. These people aren't liars. They're poor. They're abjectly poor. And I object to it. I object to the unnecessary, the invented suffering that my fellow human being has to go through in America. You know? And if you want to know what you can do, at least do this much. Go on record, time and time again, and you put your 2 cents in. You tell your neighbor, you tell your family, you tell your co-workers, your friends, your associate, where you stand. Do you stand in liberty and justice and freedom for all, or is it